Thanks very much, Godfrey. I'm so excited this morning. I have some old friends in the studio. Of course, we're talking about Tanya McCartney. She's the CEO and Executive Director of the Bahamas Financial Services Board. And Mr. Ella, Ryan Pinder, who's a presenter at this year's 2018 International Business and Finance Summit. Good morning and welcome back to the show.
Good morning. Thank you for having us.
I know you've both been on the show a few times in the past.
A few times.
Wearing different hats.
Oh, yes. You make me wake up early, but it's worth it if you're the host.
Oh,
so.
thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
So listen, you're doing the 2018 version of the International Business and Finance Summit. For those of us who are not familiar with this particular summit, just give us a little background and details on it.
Okay, so every year, the Bahamas Financial Services Board hosts a summit which brings together our members as well as some international stakeholders. Very often, we look at the current state of financial services, but we look at what is going on in the industry, what trends are impacting our business, and then try to figure out how to navigate those trends to ensure growth for the sector. Ryan has been a part of the work that BFSB has done for some time. This year, his firm, Graham Thompson, has come on board as a platinum sponsor of all of our initiatives, and he's also a presenter. In terms of the conference and what we're doing, the theme is hitting the reset button. We've been reactive for a very long time in terms of responding to global regulatory changes. We think that the Bahamas has made certain commitments which now allow us to be more proactive, hit the reset button, and focus on navigating the way forward. And that is why we bring in persons such as Ryan. So maybe you want to share what you'll be speaking on and the role of Graham in this.
Sure. Thanks, I appreciate it. You know, the conference is a very timely one. You know, we've had a lot of international changes, international regulations that are affecting the industry, where it really has an impact on what the value proposition of the Bahamas is. Historically, as we might have known, our financial services sector has thrived through the value proposition of having financial privacy and having clients have the benefit of having financial privacy. Things have changed. The world has changed, new regulations have changed. And now we need a new value proposition for the Bahamas and for the industry in order to continue to thrive. And I think that's really an important segment of this summit. I'll be speaking on some of the international regulatory changes and how they affect the Bahamas, and then where we need to go to relaunch effectively our financial services industry. We think that we're now an industry and a jurisdiction that wants to attract high net worth clients to the Bahamas, not just their money, but them themselves. We think we're a country that's really ideal to set up family offices, for example, or to base global investments out of by these clients. We've seen a lot of interest in that, and we're going to be working very closely with the government and other private sector organizations to make sure that the Bahamas is ready for that, because that requires a number of things.
No doubt about it.
I wanted to add, so Ryan touched on some of the trends impacting the sector as well as the opportunities that we identify. And at the conference on Friday, which is at Bahamar, we will be looking at some of these trends and opportunities. We have an international speaker who will look at global citizenship, this whole question of residency and how people leverage residency. We will be looking at family offices as well. In addition to that, we'll be looking at the use of data analytics to grow your business. So a range of topics. And we will be having a session specifically on refining the Bahamas value proposition. So we're going to look at location, the expertise that we have, and our ability to be innovative as an industry.
You know, some of these words may come across as heavy to persons who are watching the show, but again, this is a conference for everybody. I mean, it's not just financial services, but really the impact of financial services is broad. You know, we talk about globalization. We had the minister on the show not too long ago, and we are still considering things like the WTO. I mean, there's an alphabet soup of acronyms out there relative to globalization and trade and liberalization.
I'm glad you mentioned that this is a conference for everyone. Traditionally, we have this conference on an annual basis outside of Nassau.
Okay.
This is the first time that we're actually having it in Nassau.
Okay.
We have a rate for members of BFSB as well as non-members because we wanted to broaden the dialogue and invite persons in to see what is going on in the industry. We have the governor of the central bank, Mr. John Roll, who will open the day to talk about global banking issues and its impact on the sector. If people are interested in how the industry is doing and the way forward, then certainly they should attend IBFFS, which we call it, the International Business and Finance Summit.
And on that, I think that's a good theme because, you know, traditionally we would have thought of financial services as a banking industry.
Right.
And with the changes in what's happening globally, our financial services industry is now more than banking. In fact, banking makes up a small component of what financial services is today. And I think that's important because you don't have to be in the industry to feel the impact when it's that broad.
No doubt.
There's a lot of indirect and ancillary impact to the economic model. And before, the criticism was always banking is just a small sliver. It only employs a small amount of Bahamians. Well, with the expanded scope that we're seeing, certainly more Bahamians are being directly employed and more Bahamians are being indirectly affected by the changes in the industry. So I think it's important to have a much broader reach as a financial services industry than maybe traditionally we have had.
Great. Well, Tanya, you know, we're running out of time, but again, give us the details, the date, the time, the cost.
Okay, so it's Friday, which is March the 2nd at Bahamar. Persons who are interested can contact the Bahamas Financial Services Board, 393-7001, or they can email us at events@bfsb-bahamas.com.
Okay.
The cost is $300 for members and $350 for non-members. Please feel free to reach out to us, and we invite the broader populace to come and find out what exactly is going on in financial services and what we see as opportunities for growth in our important industry.
Excellent. Tanya Ryan, thank you very much for joining us in Bahamas at Sunrise. We're certainly looking forward to the results of this 2018 International Business and Finance Summit. You're watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We've been joined by BFSB this morning. We'll be right back.